Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A Fargo nursing home was notified that it will have to retest several people for COVID-19 after a malfunction at the state health department. Dozens of people were also notified that their positive test results may be wrong. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero investigates what led to the incident and how many results are impacted by the issue.
82 people who tested positive for COVID-19 are being retested after a malfunction at the state lab in Bismarck. The issue impacts counties across North Dakota, but by far Cass County leads the group with 23 results that are being treated as inconclusive, according to the health department. No one was made available Monday to answer specific questions on the facilities affected. However, we learned that Eventide Senior Living was told 4 people had to be retested. A spokeswoman with the North Dakota Department of Health says the results are mostly from long-term care facilities and mass testing events. She also says 80% of the COVID-19 tests in the state are processed in Bismarck. So far, 23 people have been retested and 22 came back negative. This isn't the first time there have been issues with tests. Earlier this month, Fargo Cass Public Health said there was a backlog of tests at the state lab, delaying results from a mass testing event at the Fargo Dome. In Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
Those who are being retested were asked by the health department to still quarantine and act as if they are, in fact, positive until they get their new results. North Dakota health officials are confirming 40 new cases of COVID-19 and another death. The latest death is a Cass County woman in her 80s with underlying health issues. Overall, the state has seen 54 deaths. 39 of those are from the virus. 7 are patients who died with the virus, and 8 death records are still pending. Of the 40 new coronavirus cases reported today, 37 are in Cass County. 852 cases are considered active in the state. That's down 14 from yesterday. 40 North Dakotans are currently in the hospital. The state of Minnesota is reporting another 12 deaths and 745 new positive COVID-19 cases. The death toll in the state now stands at 881. 5,618 cases are considered active in the state. 605 patients are currently in the hospital, a jump of 52 from yesterday. 248 of those patients are in the ICU. It's nice to see the weather staying quiet for our Memorial Day holiday. So how about this evening? Well, let's get a peek of your first alert forecast from Nathan. Hey, Nathan.
Hey, Andrea. Yeah, we saw those clouds around, but things did indeed stay quiet for those folks who had outdoor plans for this Memorial Day, and we're still seeing those clouds around. And we expect those clouds to stay with us for the rest of this evening, but temperatures won't be too bad. Looking at the satellite and radar, we are seeing those clouds making their way from south to north with that moisture, the lower level atmospheric moisture pushing its way from south to north. Looking again at surface observations in these locations, not seeing any rain actually hitting the ground under that green there. So that could be just some of that lower level moisture being picked up on that radar, but not quite making it all the way to the ground. Where we are seeing a bit more organized rain activity is off from Brainerd into the Arrowhead of Minnesota. Temperatures in Minnesota, the low to mid 70s. So fairly mild evening for our friends in Minnesota, but we're cooler temperatures. We're in the 60s for our North Dakota neighborhoods, and the breeze a little bit busy out of the northwest around 10 to 15 miles per hour. So not too bad if you have any grilling plans or boating plans, what have you, for this evening. But we have even more quiet weather on the way, Andrea, even more sunshine. So we'll break all that down coming up.
All right. Thanks, Nathan. A Fargo woman contacted our whistleblower hotline saying she's disheartened that items from her daughter's gravesite are being taken. It's happening at Riverside Cemetery. From Memorial Day until Labor Day, people are allowed to place items on graves. The cemetery's manager says during the summer months, they've had an issue with theft. They say it's sad to have these things happen at a place where people grieve for their loved ones.
Probably 20 years. I mean, it's been happening over and over and over again. So I guess I just take it for granted now that I need to bring something new.
I really wish I knew who was doing it so we could at least give the family a little peace of mind.
Riverside Cemetery says they have surveillance cameras, but that it's hard to cover the entire cemetery. They recommend calling police if any of your items end up missing. Again, that story came to us through our whistleblower hotline. If you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call us and we'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. Call 237-6576 and leave your tip. One woman is injured and her unborn baby is dead following an accidental shooting in Steele County, North Dakota. Authorities say it happened last night around 8:40 when officers were called to a rural address in Portland, North Dakota, on a report of a 22-year-old pregnant woman with a gunshot wound. The incident was later determined to be an accident. The woman was life-flighted to a Fargo hospital where the baby died from injuries. 5 men are now in jail after police say they drove a skid steer through a construction site in Fargo. Officials say damage is estimated in the thousands at that Fargo construction zone, and these men are suspected of causing it. They were arrested for conspiracy to commit burglary. Police say they caught them inside a construction zone in North Fargo early this morning around 1. Officers found the security fence heavily damaged and other property inside the construction zone damaged as well. The investigation determined that a skid steer loader was driven into a fence and other construction equipment inside the fence. The Becker County Sheriff's Office has identified the 2-year-old child who died in a house fire Sunday. His father, mother, and 5-year-old sister were all airlifted to area hospitals. The boy who died is identified as Micah Headland. His father, 48-year-old Michael Headland, was flown to a Fargo hospital with smoke inhalation. 46-year-old Melissa Headland and her 5-year-old daughter were both flown to a Minneapolis hospital with smoke inhalation and burns. The fire happened just before 1 a.m. Sunday at a home in Becker County, about 9 miles northeast of Detroit Lakes. The house is considered a total loss, and investigators are still working to determine the cause. Police have arrested a Minot man after a murder this morning. Authorities were called to a Minot hotel and found a man with multiple stab wounds. He was pronounced dead at a hospital. Police arrested 56-year-old Milo Whitetail for murder. The name of the victim is being withheld as investigators continue to learn what happened. People in the valley are on the lookout after multiple reports of bear sightings. The furry intruders were spotted near St. Hilaire and Rolog, Minnesota. The Minnesota DNR says there's an uptick in black bears and they're making their way west.
If you do have a bear that's coming in, whether it's going for your bird feeders, your garbage, anything else that's easily available, our best advice is to, put that stuff away.
If you spot a bear near your home, you're encouraged to report it to the DNR. Here's a heads up about some road work that's set to begin in North Fargo tomorrow. Starting after 8:30 in the morning, 3rd Avenue North between University Drive and 10th Street North will be closed to non-residents as crews work on the water main there, along with other street improvements. The project is set to be done in phases, with work wrapping up in early November. Later on Valley News Live at 6, Memorial Day celebrations continue on in the Valley despite the ongoing pandemic.
And temperatures in Fargo made it into those mid-70s, 74 degrees at high temperature in Fargo, 2 degrees above average for this time of year. We're also 2 degrees above average for our friends in Grand Forks. Good news is I've got more above average temperatures on the menu. I'll break it down next.